Elaine, can you tell us about one of the streams that you were involved in with the venue managers?
My main role within the venue managers is I sit on the steering group for the audience development and participation project workers, which has been a very interesting process. It was an idea that came up across the different venue managers about trying to increase audiences and level of participation specifically at the venues as opposed to within arts development. There had been a similar role taking place between two venues a few years ago, so it was important that we learned from that process. And we also had a county-wide project based on working with young people, and that project came to an end, so it was important we took the learnings from that process and implemented it into these two new roles. We had quite a lot of discussion around how many posts we felt we would need to cope with the county being the size that it is, and being realistic about the size of the county and the budget that was available. We actually went for two project workers, one in the north and one in the south. Both posts are similar in terms of their role, but very different in terms of their spread of venues. The north cluster includes 5 venues in and around the city of Lincoln, and the southern cluster includes a far wider geographical spread and will no doubt raise other issues to do with the pure geography of the venues amongst that cluster. It was an idea that everyone signed up to fairly easily. The difficulty, I think, was about pinning down what those posts should do, how to achieve them, and how we measure what they've achieved, especially in a short amount of time, because the funding initially is just for a year, and so you've got new posts, you've got new people to those roles, you've got first time the venues working together, and got to measure something very quickly. There are certain challenges there that we kind of will need to address very quickly as the process starts. I think we did have a little bit of a concern that the main steering group for Lincolnshire 1 would embrace the principles behind this, and we did put in a lot of work about justifying how we would monitor, how we would evaluate. Fortunately, the steering group felt it was a good idea, and the money was forthcoming, and both Charlie and Anna were appointed in May of 2010. We're now 6 months into that project, and we have started to see the fruition of those two project workers. We have the print that's going out to schools, we have calendars, we have loyalty cards, we have a texting scheme that's about to be launched, and the two project workers are now working with the individual venues to raise profile of the individual venues and of Lincolnshire 1 as a whole, about trying to build audiences within those venues and about increasing participation at a local level.